So, hello everybody. My name is Braden Hand. I'm from Bluntstown. This is my second year playing for Chipola Spring Bowl team, but I played a lot in high school at Bluntstown, so this is probably like my sixth or seventh year just playing Brain Bowl.
I'm Cade Foxworth. I'm from Bonifay, and this is my first every year playing any kind of quiz bowl.
Man, for your first year, dude, you cooked. I would say I'm very impressed. So there are two other people that were on our A team that aren't here. One is John Maupin. He's also from Bluntstown. You'd probably get the same amount of words out of him if he were here as if he weren't. Brad's silent killer. And then Seth Crutchfield, also from
Bonifay.
That's also his first year. Mm-hmm. And God, he's like the baby on the team. He's 17, isn't he?
Still in high school.
Yeah, he's still in high school. So it's like we're just bringing around a little kid with us every trip. But it's great. Okay, so what subjects are covered in Brain Bowl? I mean, is everything a valid answer? I think everything comes up.
There's definitely things that are specialized, though. I mean, we have mostly a lot of literature.
Yeah, there's a lot of literature, a lot of history, a lot of geography. Those are like the three big categories. And then like
science.
Yeah, science is another big one. And then like
art, music.
Kate is so good at this. He's listed everything. But then like you get to the obscure stuff, like you have questions about like organic chemistry, and it's
philosophers.
Philosophers, economists, and then like every once in a while they'll throw a question at you like McDonald's ice cream machine, and you're like,
that's the ones you can't prepare for. But the stuff like philosophers and economists, you just have to have a good coach that knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I was gonna say Coach Stan is the best coach.
That is true.
Which I don't want to say.
It might be true though.
Yeah, I was gonna say no. It's definitely true. I have to give it to him. So, preface before I tell any stories in this, Coach Stan and I have a very interesting relationship where we make fun of each other a lot, but it's all in good fun, and like we know that we're messing with each other. So like it really breaks my heart to say that he's good at this just because I don't want to tell him he's good at anything. And he would do the same thing for me.
That is true.
Yeah, like when he did that press conference and he was like, Braden's top 3 all time. Like I could feel his heart like fighting against him trying to say it, dude.
He wanted to make sure to emphasize that you were top 3 and not in the running for first or second.
Yeah, there's nope. Not in the running for first or second. So who is an expert in each subject? Okay, so Cade, you're our humanities guy, so like art and music, right? And then Seth was our science player. John is so good. Like
you can't just call him a history player. I mean, he knows everything that's ever happened in the entire history of the world.
For real. It's like he lived it. Like he knows everything so in depth that it's kind of boggles the mind. Like I don't know how he knows all this stuff.
He'll just say something and we'll just like let out like a sigh of just like, how do you know that?
Yeah, it'll be like they'll ask a question and we'll be like, oh gosh, I have no idea. And then John will be like, I think it's this. I'm like, say it, go with it. Sounds perfect. And like half the time I don't even know what he's saying. It's like
defer.
Yeah, I'll just throw it at him and he got it. So I would say that I'm like the lit player, but then I just like pick up whatever coach tells me to learn. So I get economists, philosophers, literature. I can pull history every once in a while if John's not going crazy. Art, for sure. A little bit of music. So.
We never lose art.
No, we never lose art. That's one of the things. That category comes up more than people think. Mm-hmm. And like.
It's not hard.
Yeah, it's not hard because you can.
And it's interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say like you look at a painting and you're like, okay, this is cool. And then like the visuals stick in your brain. So it's like. There's a painting that we look at called Watson and the Shark, and it's these guys saving this kid from a shark.
And the shark looks nothing like a shark.
Yeah, like it has lips, which is gross. It's so weird, but it was painted before like people knew what sharks really looked like.
Right.
So it's like when they're describing this painting and they mention there's a shark with lips, that's going to be the first thing that comes to your brain, but like people just don't put in the effort to learn stuff like that. Mm-hmm. How much do we train? So it kind of varies person to person. We have a very like loose practice system where people can come and go if they need to. We're not super strict on it. So typically we practice 3 to 5 multiple days a week, 3 days a week. So that's 6 hours. And then we do a lot of independent study. Sometimes we'll get online and do stuff like on Discord on the computer. I would say at my peak, I was probably studying over 24 hours in a week. And it was a nightmare. My brain was like shattered. It was so much information.
Yeah.
But I don't think we've ever gotten that crazy this year.
No.
But
we use studying tools so we study away and then we come together and cement what we know, and then that kind of just helps with memorization, like
drilling things over and over and over again helps
and then
so much.
then whenever it comes up, you remember where you saw that information, and then it helps you remember what you're looking for.
Yeah. And so the next question says, are your practices fun or serious? I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think
we can get pretty tense, but I would say it's usually more fun.
Yeah, I would say like fun and competitive.
Yeah.
Like I think my personality is very competitive. I just hate losing with a passion. That's why I tried my best not to do it. And so like practices, we'll have fun and we'll crack jokes and we'll play around and stuff, but it's like every single time we play, I want to win. And every time the A team loses, it's like hip hip hurrah, and they like celebrate because they hate us. I'm just kidding. They don't hate us, but they do want to beat us. You always want to beat whoever you're playing against. So our biggest rival, oh gosh. So TCC, I know that.
Tallahassee Community College.
Yeah, Tallahassee Community College. They're like 45 minutes down the road. It's like you play teams from all over the country. Like I've played teams in Canada. I've played teams from Washington. I've played teams up in New York. Like I played teams from all over the country. And then the school that's 45 minutes down the road is the team that I like dislike the most. The team that I want to beat down every single time we play them. And it like just so happens that they're the team that we're always playing for something. Like
them the past 2 years in the state championship.
Yeah, I was going to say the state championship final has been us versus TCC 2 years in a row. And winning those games was like the best feeling ever because I really didn't want to lose to them.
And it's always the closest games for no reason.
Yeah,
too.
for real. Like
Except for state this year.
Yeah, state this year wasn't close. But like at nationals, we played them and we were up, like
170
at halftime. And they came back and we had to like go to overtime because we were tied at the end. Like
that's just kind of how it is when we play them.
It's just so weird. Like,
but we won't lose.
Yeah, we won't lose. It always gets close. It's always weird, but we don't lose. Tell us something we don't know about your coach. Oh my gosh, I have the funniest story ever. So I'm so nosy. It's really bad. But one time, so I think this was last year, we were on the plane flying to Chicago, and Coach Stan was sitting like 3 or 4 rows ahead of me, like on the opposite side of the aisle. So I was on the left and he was on the right. And I could just see his phone as he was like putting on his music. So he plugged it in, he put in his earbuds, and he put Taylor Swift on shuffle. And me and my now fiance, we locked eyes and we were like, this is the funniest thing ever. There's no way. So his favorite song is Out of the Woods. So if you want to go talk to him about his music opinions, I can't say whether that song is good or not. I don't think I've listened to it.
And he's now an open Swiftie.
He is an open Swiftie.
He does not hide it anymore.
Yeah, good for him.
He also likes J. Cole.
And Juice WRLD.
Yeah,
some of these Brain Bowl trips have been opening his horizons to music, which is really funny. Gosh. We've introduced him to the J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick beef. He's so in the know about it. So if anybody watches this video, like go ask him questions about the beef because he knows all about it. We dissected it on the way to Chicago last time. It's so much fun. So we'll shout out our B team too because they also worked very hard and they did very well. So our B team, the B team captain is a man by the name of Trevor Shelton, Big Trev. And
you probably know him.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you see a kid with glasses and a Hawaiian shirt walking around the campus, it's probably him. He's from Malone, and God, I love Trevor to death, but I don't know, dude. I don't know what to make of him. We kind of had this rivalry, like, all year where he was trying to beat me, and it was fun, and I love playing against Trevor, and then, but he's just something else. I don't know,
That's how I would describe him, as something else.
Yeah, and
But
it's
we
like,
love him.
Like, yeah, I was gonna say he's something else in the best way possible. Like Trevor just is so genuinely like,
Trevor.
yeah, and he's like interested in everything, and like it's a running joke that he has that like every time there's a question that comes up, he'll be like, "Oh, I love that," and except for elevators,
Yeah, he doesn't like elevators.
he does not like elevators, specifically the one in Sears Tower. But gosh, we were riding back from the first tournament this year, yeah, and I know that coach would like hate metal music. I just knew that he would, so I was like, I just want to play something for him just because I knew he wasn't gonna like it. And then Trevor from the back seat goes, "Can you play Down with the Sickness by Disturbed?" And for anybody that doesn't know that song by name, you've definitely heard it because that's the one.
Yeah.
And he performed that whole song
Perfectly.
in the van with all like 10 of us watching
And
it.
Coach was losing it.
I mean, it was great. It was a top tier A+ performance by Mr. Trevor Shelton. Other members of our B team. So there's Oliver Nando, Big O. He's from Bluntstown. He's been playing for 2 years now.
Student of the month.
Student of the month for April. Represent. There's also Jack Taylor Ebersol. He's from Bluntstown. He was on our B team for nationals, but our A team for state. So, and he played really well. Jack knows jazz music like nobody's business. So like, that's one of those niche categories that somebody can get really good at if they want to, and that was his thing.
I mean, it'll come up once every 2 or 3 games, but it's important to get it whenever it comes
Yeah,
up.
and it's like he kills it every time. He's also one of those like silent but deadly. Jack is one of those people that like is so quiet all of the time, but then when you get him around a room of people he's comfortable with, it's like a totally different person. And he's so funny, but like I don't know if I could give a specific story, especially not like
Probably best not to.
yeah. And then there's Chad. Uncle Chad. So Chad is Cade's uncle.
My uncle. Yes.
Yeah, and
But
so
everybody calls him Uncle Chad.
He's our Uncle Chad. He's the team's Uncle Chad. And how old is Chad?
I won't say.
Okay.
He was born in the 70s.
Okay. Born in the 70s. So, non-traditional student, I will say. Older than all of us. But one of the funniest things I think has ever happened was he was at our practice, and he started late. We just added him because we needed an extra person, and he was really good at math, and math is a big category at state. And so coach just like asked him to show up to a practice and see how it went. And we had some newer people at practice, and he buzzed and answered a question. And then one of the kids goes, "I thought you were a coach. Are you playing?" And he was like, "Yeah." And then I swear he goes with a straight face, "Are you older than you look?" And Chad was just like, "Really? Like what? Why would you ask that question?" But yes. But it was so funny. Like Chad was so caught off guard. But I love Chad to death. I know there's a lot of people in this world that will put people from this area down because they're from Northwest Florida, and it's a small area, small school, and people tend to look down on that. Like,
And we've had people in Brain Bowl kind of just
like we had a girl tell us one time that all our famous alumni were baseball players. It's like a way of putting us down, and it's like we won the competition. Like, even if this is a small school, Chipola still does great things because we have great people here. And like Chipola is a school for winners and for people who are very smart and very good at what they do. So encouragement for the people out there. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something just because you're from here, because people from here do great things.
And also get involved because, this was something I didn't really know a lot about, but it's been one of the best experiences that I could have asked for. So get involved in stuff. If somebody tells you something's fun, go check it out. At least see how you like it.
You'll find something. There's so many awesome things to do here that, like, if you just give everything a shot, you'll find something that you love. So, I think that's it.